So in this next section, we're going to talk about printing. So let's print. Oh, I love this part. Printing. ... Oh, in iOS, you have to create a PDF before you can print. So create PDF and print. Okay, let's press print and it will send the code over to the printer. And oh, here it is. Printing! We printed our code. Okay, all right, for real though. So printing in programming is putting stuff in the console, which I think you might have heard about at this point. So what does printing mean? Printing means that you no longer need to press run my code and tap on these tiny little buttons over here, because it's actually going to put something on the screen for you to see. In order to see it, you have to open up the console, which is this button next to run my code, and it says console is empty, which is very sad. So over here, if you want to see my total number of MacBooks and iPads, I can just say print total. Okay, so I still need to run my code. But if you run it, you will see 68 over here. In this case, it's because I've changed my num MacBooks to 50, and after all the changes, it's now 68. So this is a great way of just having some summary data show up. If I change my num iPads to 100, it's going to become 248 total. Okay, so let's move on by creating a brand new page to experiment with printing. Again, the sidebar is Control-Command-S. The new page is Command-Shift-N, and you can call this thing printing. Tap on it, and you should get a brand new page to work on. And you can close your sidebar again by Control-Command-S. I think that's a keyboard shortcut for showing the console, but I will find out what it is eventually. Okay, so let's print some stuff. And one of the things that you do when you first start any programming language learning is print hello world, right? So if you do that, if you run, hello world is going to show up on the right-hand side. Very simple. You can print strings. You can print integers. You can print doubles. And you can print variables. All of this works perfectly fine. You can even print entire calculations, and it will calculate it first and then print it for you. Okay, so what's the use of all this? Why would you ever want to print stuff in the console? Keep this in mind as we are moving into app development. What you print out on the screen will actually never show up for the user. It's a great way though to keep track of the values inside your code. When you're coding, you're going to be using a lot of variables and constants, and sometimes you really need to find out what the value it's taking at any given time. If you remember SwiftUI, we didn't have these little numbers and letters over here to tell us what the value of something is at any given time. So if you ever want to find out what it is, you're going to need to use the print function. It's just a way of peeking into the brain of Swift as it's running your code. All right, so what happens if you want to make like long and complete sentences using print? So let's just say that let favorite video equals to never gonna give you up. Let favorite artist equals to Rick Astley. All right, and so these are two constants, right? Everyone's favorite video and everyone's favorite artist should be the same all the time, and it's never going to change. It's never going to give you up. And what if you want to print these out in a sentence? So the way you do it would be print my favorite video. Favorite has a U. Heathens. Favorite video is, okay, so instead of typing out never gonna give you up inside here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to type a backslash followed by open bracket and the close bracket. And you notice that the color of this text changes to black inside the string. And I'm going to type in the name of this constant, favorite video. Okay, so what does that do? Let's run it and see. So what it does is something very simple. It takes whatever value it is over here from this constant and puts it inside the sentence. This is called string interpolation, which is a very long way of saying filling in the blank. It's just taking a value and putting it inside a piece of text. So you can do this with multiple strings in a sentence by favorite artiste. And I kind of like to finish typing the slash bracket before I type out the constant or variable name. And that's because it can do autocomplete better that way, right? So let's run this. Fantastic. And let's put the variable inside as well, just to show that you can put a variable, right? Number of times watched equals to 1 billion, right? I believe it's got 1 billion views. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, here's a handy little thing about numbers in Swift. You can actually use a separator. The separator you can use is the underscore, 1, 2, 3, underscore, 1, 2, 3, underscore, right? And this will represent 1 billion, but it's a lot easier for people to read rather than trying to pass through a whole bunch of zeros. Okay, so over here, which I have watched, not attached, watched slash bracket. So notice if I try typing my variable name now, right, I'm going to need to carefully type out my entire variable name, costing me seconds of my life to try and get it right. Instead, I'm going to put in the string interpolation symbol, and I can type number of times watched and just press enter. Autocomplete. Autocomplete is your friend. Times. Okay, so if I run, it's going to say my favorite video is Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley, which I have watched 1 billion times. Fantastic. Everyone should watch this video 1 billion times or so. Let's move on to another little exercise. Again, struggle to remember keyboard shortcuts. Control Command S, Command Shift N, and exercise 3. For this exercise, I'd like you to create 3 variables. One for your name, one for your hobby, and one for your height. I'd like you to introduce yourself by printing out these variables using string interpolation as shown on the screen. Don't just say print, open double quotes, my name is YJ Sun, right? You have to actually make use of the variables. You can use constants as well. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so I hope that kind of makes sense. Join me in about 5 seconds for the answer, but you should probably pause and try and do this on your own. There is no starter code for you. Type it out yourself. Okay, I'm back. Are you back? Did you do the work? No, you did not. I'm going to type out the code because, I've got to do everything around here. So what did I ask you to do? I asked you to make 3 variables, one for your name. I guess it could be a constant. Your name is a constant, but sure. Right, so my name is YJ. Hello. My hobby is grinning like a maniac. And my height is 1.9. And that's in meters because feet and inches are stupid. Okay, so what did I ask you to do? I asked you to introduce yourself by printing these out using string interpolation. So here's an example. Print, my name is, and then over here, name. Put in name. Okay, and just to test it out, you can press run. If you don't have the console open, there'll be a little notification down here. You can just tap on it, and here you go. My name is YJ. Okay, next you can say print. My hobby is / hobby. Oops, not jobby. Hobby. Press run. And at this point, I realized, oh, I shouldn't have put this with capital letters. Sure, let's go change this. Right, because it really takes exactly what you type, not caring about your capital letters or grammar or anything, and just dumps it inside there. Okay. And the last one is print. My height is height meters. Okay, that's because you're going to attach the number to the unit over here. So 1.9 meters. All right, that's it. And the great thing about this is you can, of course, change your height as you grow older. So I expect in a couple of years' time, I should be a little bit taller. So maybe 2.9, I don't know. Run. And there you go, right? This is a blatant lie, but you get the idea. It takes the value and then it just prints this out. Some of you might be asking, what if I want to leave some space in between these things, right? So what if I want to leave a space between printing my name and my hobby? So I could actually just go over here. Hang on, let me just make sure that I can go here. I can just type the word print. So that's actually pretty interesting. You just type print with nothing inside is actually going to just print out a blank line. That might be useful for you if you're printing out a whole bunch of stuff and you need to segment it somehow. You can also print out what's called an empty string. If you type double quotes and you close it, that means you print that and then it gives a return carriage and it goes to the next line. Okay, for now, I'll just leave this alone and we can move on to the next section.